This is Rehearsal and Recovery with James Pickering. Today's guest, Jaimelyn Gray.
Try being as honest as is humanly possible. Well, one of the things that I most admire about you, and have since we started collaborating, which, Jesus, when 2023, I think,
I think,
thereabouts.
yeah,
Yeah.
because I think the show
last
went
days
up
of COVID.
in 2023.
So we started in 2022, fall of
Yeah,
2022.
like
we had
meet
coffee
up
in the
and
most most depressing coffee house.
It's not depressing. I think that place is super cute.
It's really dark. Anyway,
It was really dark. Yeah.
no, but anyway, to finish my sentence, that's one of the things that about you, the honesty question is the honesty that you require of not only yourself but of the people around you, which is really it's a great thing because it especially in our business, it cuts through a lot of bullshit.
Yeah.
So you go, yeah, but really, what's going on?
Yeah.
Because for one thing, there's never enough time to rehearse a play.
This is real.
Let's just so really a more chopped liver we can get out of the way, the better off we're going to be.
Yeah.
Now, would you say that was a characteristic of you? Has that been a characteristic of you for your whole life? Have you been that demanding, or I mean, demanding in that way? Has how has sobriety and recovery affected that, if at all, would you say?
Oh, I definitely think I've become more. Well, we should rewind for a hot second here and just get some through line
so they know
here so they know what the hell is going on. So when this episode goes to print, as it were, it's my birthday.
Perfect.
So I thought, for my birthday, why don't we flip the script a little bit and have me be the what is the word I'm looking for? The person being interviewed.
The interviewee.
The interviewee, and have somebody else be the interviewer. And I reached out to you to see if you would be game to do that, and of course you were totally game to do that. So that's where we find ourselves right now. So you are technically the interviewer.
I know.
So this is Rehearsal and Recovery with James Pickering.
Yes. And today's victim is Jaimelyn Gray.
So that's what we're doing with this episode. I just thought it would be a little fun and just I don't know. And people kept asking me, like, when are you going to do your episode? When are you going to do your episode? Kind of thing.
And your birthday is the perfect time.
And I thought my birthday, since we're releasing these on Tuesdays, and my birthday's on a Tuesday this year, that we just go ahead and do it then.
Absolutely great.
Yeah. So, getting back to the question.
Yes.
I definitely think my going into recovery and quitting drinking has definitely allowed me to be more vulnerable and more honest and more transparent and all. I think for a very, 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 very long time I had a thick candy shell of protection to and I think it really hurt my acting and really hurt my career trajectory to be so protected and so impervious and a little too actory.
Yeah. And so you have to, you have to roll the dice and take the risk. And not drinking really helps you do that.
Totally.
I think. Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah.
Totally.
Unlike some of the people that you have talked to in this series, I think this series is a wonderful thing. I am in AA, as I think I pointed out in
your episode, yeah.
And I have found it to be very, very useful as far as that's concerned. The aspect of being honest is, to me, the great challenge. You sort of, it's like honesty has layers like an onion.
Sure.
You think you're being honest, and then you go, no, I'm not really. Then you think you're being honest, and then you go, and you have to keep have to keep peeling it away.
Sure.
And I have found that art imitates life and vice versa, in that that's when you're working in theater, that is a process that you go through.
Yeah.
Is just really trying to get at the essence of what something is. Otherwise, you're kind of wasting people's time.
Yeah, because really the best performances that you see are where people are just bearing their soul
That's right.
on
That's it.
stage. And you can see it.
Yeah.
You can tell the difference when somebody's heart is just open and bleeding there in performance and when it's not.
Right. It's like, it's like you can't fool dogs. Dogs know. So that you realize that in theater, especially in theater on stage, live theater, which you love and which I love, your performance is being apprehended by another mammal.
Mhm.
So you are, your relationship is of mammal to mammal, and there's a certain honesty. You can tell when a mammal is trying subterfuge, or trying to fool you, because you have the same set of senses as the performer does. So it's easy when you detect honesty, I think, and can recognize it much more easily when you don't exactly have that sort of a protective shell on yourself.
100%.
I know, and it's in real life we have to put on armor sometimes, because it's too easy to get hurt. It's too easy to get
Sure.
interrupted from what you're trying to do.
Sure.
So,
Sure.
and I think the way recovery helps that in just day-to-day life is similar to the way it helps in our chosen art.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Just a bit of historical fact.
Okay.
You were born and grew up in Manitowoc, Wisconsin,
I did.
and you have been doing theater since you were in kindergarten.
I have.
Absolutely. And so you probably recognize the fact that you were a theater junkie fairly early on.
Fairly early. But I think a lot of that is because my parents were in the art.
Yes.
And so, they were, sort of stars in Manitowoc
Yeah, sure.
community theater,
In whatever sphere you operate,
yeah,
all you
they're
can do is do your best.
yeah.
Yes.
And so I think I remember seeing my mom in performance, and she would be doing things, and just the response that she would get was like, I want to do that thing.
Yes, I see.
Yeah.
Okay. And tell me about your mentor. You talked about a professor that you had, or a teacher that you had at
Oh, it was
not at Stevens Point.
No, it was at UW Manitowoc.
Yeah.
So I uh I started like really like flirting with theater ever since I was in kindergarten. I did this. I don't remember what it was, but it was at Catholic school, and it was some performance in the gym, and it was There's a Hole in the Bucket, Dear Liza, Dear Liza.
Oh, right. Yeah.
And it's me and this boy, and I ended up like chasing the boy because I wanted to kiss him or something at the end of the thing, and everybody thought I was so funny, and it was
It's heroin.
yeah, yeah, totally. And so from that point, I had done like little things here and there and here and there and here and there through junior high. I went to a private born again Christian school from what was it, fifth, sixth, and a bit of seventh grade, and did a bunch of like religious, born again Christian-y holiday show kind of things. Yeah. And got the lead, of course.
Yes, of course.
And so I was like, I kept doing projects throughout, my junior and high school days where, I was big fish, small pond.
Yes, right.
And really, fell in love with the art form. In high school, I really fell in love with American Players Theater
Yes,
and
sure.
was like, I'm going to be a Shakespearean actor for the rest of my life. And I'm going to do the regional theater circuit, and I'm going to play all the ingenues and then play all the, I'm going to play, Lady M, and like, I'm gonna be all the heroines and all the evils and all the,
Yeah,
this, that, this,
sure,
that.
sure.
Did not do fucking any of it. I don't even think I've auditioned for American Players Theater. I did not do any of it. But it really became my obsession, the theater, and that I was going to do this as a career for my life in high school.
Right.
Was really where I solidified that dream of being a theater artist.
So in other words, education from then on was going to be about
It was
an
I
opportunity to do theater.
yeah, I was going to go to some school to study theater, and that would be it. So I didn't apply anywhere, of course, because why would you do that? So, I mean, the bigger sort of like bubble around this whole situation is that I had a very chaotic childhood.
Yeah.
It was my biological father left when I was 2. My mom remarried to a guy who, not a terrible guy, but was really a raging alcoholic.
Yeah.
Just real everyday drinker, getting drunk every single day, going to work, coming home, going to work, coming home, going to work, coming home, maybe playing in the garden, maybe, cooking some steak on the grill, but just, because
So you're exposed to this as your brain is forming.
yeah. And my mom and her second husband divorced when I was 10. And then at 12, my mom married the person who, to this day, has just left me incredibly scarred. Just, I call him a terrorist because he really just filled me with terror for a good like 2.5 year period. From the age of 12 to 14. My life was just filled with fear.
Oh, God.
He would, the one thing that always pops immediately into my head is he would read my letters from friend, because we used to write letters back then.
Yeah, back then, right?
Back in the day, we wrote letters to friends, and
this here's a pencil, right?
yeah, and you write
pieces
letters.
of paper, sure.
And because in this process of my mom like marrying and divorcing, and we switched between so many different schools in Manitowoc. I was in Manitowoc the whole time and went to Catholic school, private school, public school, it was kindergarten, first, second, Catholic school. Third, when my mom was getting divorced from her second husband, was public. Fourth was Catholic. Fifth, sixth, and that part of seventh was the born again Christian private school. Then seventh, we switched to public. Then we moved to the other side of the state at the end of 8th grade.
Oh, great.
The most amazing time. And this was when she was with the new guy.
Yeah.
and moved all the way across the state. And so from that period of that 7th, 8th, and 9th grade period, I was living in absolute hell for me,
Right.
for me personally. That
No friends, abandoned friends.
no, I had friends, but he would follow us.
Oh, I see.
Like he would stalk me and read my letters and say things that I was doing, things that I wasn't actually doing.
Mhm.
So I was just being like traumatized through all this chaos.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And so by the time I got to 14, I had enough of this guy.
Yeah.
And decided that my better mode of survival was to move in with the alcoholic second husband, who was my adoptive father, and try and survive high school with him. So it was just me and my dad, the alcoholic, through my high school years. My brother was there too for a short period of time, but he ended up moving out when he got his girlfriend pregnant, and then they lived together because they had a baby to raise. When he got her pregnant when he was 17.
Yeah, I know you were very fond of your brother.
And I was but he was my hero.
Yeah.
And he largely because when we moved across state, he didn't come with us. He stayed with my alcoholic father. He was like, no fucking way am I doing that crap. Yeah. And so he was largely part of that process of helping me get back to Manitowoc, and was part of my support system when I got back to Manitowoc.
I see.
But for me, it was freedom. For me, it was a complete breath of fresh air. Like, my dad was, he had his challenges, and he would yell at me drunk sometimes and say you're just like your mother and things like that, and be emotionally and mentally abusive.
Yes.
But again, to me, it was better than what I was going through before. And so that was when in an effort to really stay away from home, right? Because I didn't want to be around the drunk guy.
Right.
Did a lot of theater and worked in the movie theater in my hometown.
Yeah.
And so I was gone out of the house a lot because I knew that I just had to be out of the house until 9 p.m. and he would be passed out drunk. And so, and that was how I survived. That was how I lived. But it was through that time then that I really, nailed down and identified, I'm going to work at APT and I'm going to do all this stuff. So I took the ACT. I didn't do poorly. But I didn't try.
Yeah.
So it was just what I did to get somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
The only school I applied to was Stevens Point. That was it. So I was like, we better get in, or we're not going anywhere. We're gonna be in Manitowoc for the rest of our life. And I got in. And then the floodgates opened. It was that summer. So the first time I ever got drunk was in February of my senior year of high school. And I went to a friend's house. Her parents were out of town, right? And we had a party, and I got drunk off 4 beers.
There you go.
4, like crawling on the floor, 4 beers.
Yeah. Oh, my first one was Ballantine Ale.
I don't even know what that is.
It's right. It was an East Coast brew.
Oh, okay.
It was really good. But I know.
I think this was Bud Light. I think it was something.
Yeah.
But I did that once because I had always said, because of what I observed, I'm never drinking.
Of course.
Of course, I was not going to be that person. Of course, I was never going to go down that path.
That's why they call alcohol cunning, baffling, and powerful. Right.
Because I got drunk that first time, and that was fucking amazing.
Yeah.
And it was awesome, and I loved it, and it was great. But I didn't drink again until that summer.
Mhm.
But that summer after my senior year, oh my God, it was every fucking weekend. Like every weekend, just getting shit-faced. Total binge drinking, you know, messing with my young brain as best I could, you know. But I was also doing theater that summer. I did Peter Quint's Performing Company
There you go.
in Manitowoc, Wisconsin. I just saw them too. I had my high school reunion and they were doing Mean Girls. I thought they did a great job. They really did. They really did. They really did a wonderful job. I was really happy with
That is funny.
what they
I've
did.
got it. I have to interrupt. I was scrolling on my phone, and sometimes I get to Shakespeare stuff. And the Shakespeare question was, what character in Shakespeare do you think is the best judge of people? I put down Peter
Did
Quince.
you? That's hilarious.
Because of the way he cast
Sure.
Pyramids of
Sure.
Disney. He
Sure.
guy's a genius.
Genius. Total genius. Absolutely. 100%.
Yeah.
If you never read it, go back and read it.
But the seed gets planted. Whether in my case, my parents were drinkers.
Yeah.
I think I might have seen my father drunk maybe 4 times,
Well,
and
and I've said, and
my
that's
mother
just what you
twice.
know and
That's
recognize.
what I know and
Yeah.
recognize. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Although, yeah. Anyway, and I really enjoyed drinking with my family.
Yeah.
It was not if it was an abusive situation, it was abusive in ways that I didn't understand.
Oh,
I don't
sure.
think it was. There was much a feeling of camaraderie, and family gatherings were always alcohol fueled,
Yeah.
and ended up, at least in my experience, ended up more in hilarity than in conflict or bad feelings.
Sure.
So that was, to me, that was an invitation. So it seems to me that you sort of had a reverse invitation with your experience with drinking adults when you were a kid.
Yeah, because on my mom's side, you know, and a lot of that is hindsight too. My grandma and grandpa on that side were also very heavy drinkers, but theirs was very much more of a not great relationship
Yeah.
experience. And
Uh-huh.
then, you know, my dad being also sort of, you know, sad and abusive when he was drinking, also not great. So yeah, there was not a real sense of joy or camaraderie
Yeah.
in my adult observations of
I
people
gotcha.
drinking. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So that led to that thing of like, I'm never going to be that
No
way.
way.
I'm never going to do that. I'm never gonna, never,
Until you did.
until I did. And it was like, no wonder people like this so much. It's so
I don't have
amazing.
to think about jack
It's
shit.
so great. Look how my brain shuts off. That's so amazing.
Right. And it's, if your brain has a lot of shit that you have to process that's not pleasant, that's hurtful.
And I had
There you go,
I
man.
had just gone through an incredibly traumatic period. You know, and again, this is all in hindsight. Like, you know, when
Of
you're
course.
living things, you're just living things.
Right.
But in hindsight, I can't believe that the chaos and trauma I was going through to get to that point to graduate high school. I graduated high school, and it wasn't bad. My grades slowly went downhill over high school. I started out with a 4.0
Yes,
in
and
like
there you go.
in freshman year, and then it just slowly went down. I think I ended up with like a 3.2 or something like that. Because by the end of the thing, I was just like, get me out of here! Get me out! And that was the thing too. I just wanted to get out of Manitowoc.
You wanted to ticket
I
to
needed
ride.
I needed a new life and a new way to get through the universe and be away from all these adults and all these, you know, horribly abusive people and just get away,
Sure.
you know? And so, so I went to Stevens Point and just drank my way right out of it.
Cool.
Like really just from that very first like move in weekend, I ended up moving into a dorm where there were upperclassmen. There was like just a handful of us freshmen who got moved to this dorm where these upperclassmen were. And so my section of my floor of the hall was all sophomores. And so they knew where all the parties were. And they they knew everything. And so I went to a party like the day of move-in because they're like, "Hey, who are you? Where are you from? What's your thing? You know, what's your thing?" Went and got drunk and sexually assaulted
Oh, great.
the first day I was in Stevens Point. Went to a party, had too much to drink, was stupid, let a guy take me upstairs. He pinned me on the bed, put his hand up my shirt, tried to get him off. The only thing that saved me was that one of my new friends came looking for me,
Yeah. Yeah.
came down the hall calling my name, and he got off.
An answer to the question, what are friends for? That's one thing.
That's one thing that they're for, right?
Yes, indeed.
And we started walking back to campus, and sure enough, these guys came, like driving down the street, like, hey, do you need a ride? Hey,
Oh, yeah, great. Right. Yeah, sure. Of course. Mhm.
Yeah. And I never reported him, and never
One doesn't.
nothing. One doesn't. And but yeah, I loved my theater classes. The other classes were the things that I didn't love so much.
Right.
And so I stopped going to those.
Well, there you are.
And then eventually stopped going to theater classes. And I don't know. I don't know if it was just depression rearing its ugly head, and
Because
just I didn't have a support system.
right.
I didn't have a support system at all. I didn't have any money. I didn't have a way to buy books. I didn't know anything. I was the second person in my family to go to college. The first girl, the first woman to go. And my mom was, with my, horrible stepfather and doing her own thing, and my dad didn't know what to
Right. So
do
there's you have
with
no
this
you have no template. You
situation.
have right.
I have no nothing. So I just floundered. I really just floundered. And I went and I talked to the guidance counselor and said, "Listen, I'm really floundering here. And I'm wondering if there's anything that we can do to, I don't know, my friends were all moving off campus and stuff like that. Can I move off campus early? Can I start over? Can I do anything? Can I?"
Yeah.
And she was like, "Nope." And I'm like, "Listen, we have to do something, or I'm gonna drop out anyway. Like
Yeah, right.
like you have to do something, or I'm going to fail out." She said, "I can't help you." So I got big old fat zero.
Yeah.
0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0 my first year of college, my first semester of college. But I went back to Manitowoc.
Mhm.
And over this time, too, one of my friends was like, there's this new professor, there's this new teacher at Manitowoc, and he's really great. And I really think that you should meet this guy and
Yeah.
whatever. And so when I went back home, I auditioned for, because Manitowoc's a small place, so the UW Manitowoc campus, you could audition if you were a community member.
Yes.
And
Sure.
so I did. And so I started doing plays with this guy. His name is David Genoviak. And yeah, we just really hit it off, and had a a really sort of symbiotic working
So
relationship.
would you say that he was the first person that really saw something in you that you wanted someone to see? As far as your talent is concerned.
Oh, because
Or
my Bill Hansen, who was my theater teacher in high school, also thought that I, had something worth
there you
pursuing
go. Yes.
in this. But
Okay.
I think this guy was came from the professional world. Not that Bill Hansen didn't come from the professional world,
but
but
right.
it's
Many paths to get there.
he
Be teaching.
yeah, he did Christmas Carol every year in the Scrooge role,
Yeah.
and was great at it. And but I think he was doing projects of art that I wanted to do.
Mhm.
The big one that he did that someday I will do again.
So this is at Manitowoc. This is
This
UW Manitowoc.
this is at UW Manitowoc,
Yeah,
and
right.
then also at the Forest Inn up in it's this little like bed and breakfast place off a no-name road about 40 minutes outside of Manitowoc that you drive all these back roads and try to avoid deer and get to the Forest Inn. They were doing back in them that at that time they were doing like do patent leather shoes really reflect up
Yes,
and
right.
stuff like that, but he brought in things that were a little bit darker. The one that really was like, this is the shit, this is the good shit, was he brought in Barry Child.
Yeah.
And we did Barry Child at the Forest Inn in fucking 1997, something
Okay.
like that. And the whole community was like, oh my gosh, please do more of this stuff. Not that they didn't love the patent leather stuff,
Yeah,
but they
sure.
were like, we need more of this kind of thing. And shortly that went on for like a year and a half, something like that. And then he was going to move, and I decided that it was also time for me to get like back into school, and he
Yeah.
was the one who suggested that I go to Southern Utah University because he had worked at the Utah Shakespeare Festival. And remember, I still have this dream. I'm going to be a Shakespeare actor someday. It's going to happen.
It's going to happen.
It's
for
going
you.
to happen. And and so I applied, and I went to SUU, and thankfully they expunged my record. So I got a fresh start at Southern Utah.
Stevens Point expunged
They
yeah.
expunged and they emancipated me. So I could get all the grants and federal funding that I needed instead of being attached to my parents.
Very good.
I had to write, letters of like the shit I came from. But yeah, but I was wholly emancipated, got to start over and all that shit.
But in all this time, you're still drinking, yes?
Oh, yes. Lest we forget, I still drink like master. Yes. Yeah. I mean, it got to the point of where, let's remember, Utah is Mormon state.
Got it.
Yes, Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, whatever you want to call them.
Yeah.
Whatever they call them.
Did three summers there. Know what you're talking about.
Yeah. And so it's 3.2 beer.
That's right.
Liquor is hard to come by. But I found my people,
Yeah.
right? Friends I'm still friends with today, friends who helped me start this company. One of my friends from that journey's, still on the constructivist board and stuff like that. Like these are like lifetime friends.
Right.
Type people. I have lifetime friends from Stevens Point. I have lifetime friends from Southern Utah, and I did get to do my Shakespeare. I was cast as Tranio Servant and Widow.
Big good.
On the Taming of the Shrew educational tour.
Nice bunch of parts.
Nice bunch of parts there. Because really, when you go through that much trauma in your youth, I think it's really hard to come out the other end an ingenue.
Jaimelyn, yes, I admire you very much. I can't imagine you as an ingenue when you were 8. So, yes, I'll certainly take your word on that.
Okay, fair enough.
You-
Maybe I
not-
was never an ingenue.
But you can be an ingenue in your mind.
Nope, it's not happening.
No, it's not.
And so, but it was one of the best experiences of my entire life. Still to this day, I was 21 years old. I was spending 2-3 weeks in Las Vegas performing Shakespeare. Like, come on. Coming from teeny tiny Manitowoc, like this was my mind was like constantly like I am living the dream. And so I personally would, we would perform at like 9-10 o'clock in the morning and do workshops at like 11 o'clock in the morning. I had the rest of the day in Las Vegas at 21 years old. I was drunk a lot.
Yeah.
I was drunk a lot. And so much so that one of my fellow actors pointed out to me that I may have a drinking problem
Yes.
at 21 years old. And I really, in hindsight, wish I would have been like, you know what, dude? You are so right. And stopped right then.
Yeah.
I really, really wish I would have just heeded the call from the universe and took the warning and went.
Yeah. Yeah. I have got to say that I mean, a lot of the years when I was drinking, I don't regret. That was a culture that I was involved with, and it just was. That's how I made friends, and a lot of those friends are still friends.
Yeah.
It is. I will say this though. A lot of them are not.
Mm-mm-mm.
You know what I mean? So, and I don't know what separates what
Yeah.
made one group of friends in my past go in one direction and what made the others go in a different direction. I don't get it. But anyway, that was the case.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I could have. Yeah. I wish about 20 years ago that I had really
That you
that I'd
that you
gotten,
had done
that
the
I'd
thing.
gotten the word. Yeah.
Yeah, I missed the first day of that job. First day of my first professional job because my roommate came home from I think he was in California
Yeah.
and we got shit-faced. I mean shit-faced. And at whatever time in the morning, there's a bang on the door and it's my company manager.
Oh my God.
Because he's been calling the house phone and nobody's been answering. And I went to performance. We were performing at the school at Southern Utah University for our first performance. And man, I didn't have time to take a shower and I just reeked of alcohol and cigarettes because I smoked at that time
Yeah,
as
right.
well.
Yep.
Because that's what we did back in the
That's
90s.
right.
And so but from that day, from that mess up, and anybody can tell you this, I was the first person at the van the rest of the
Yes,
time
of course.
because I was not going to mess that up again. I'm like, I'm so sorry, I messed up.
This will not be my
And
reputation.
this
I
is
will
not
make
going to
this
be the
up
way
to
that I
world.
live my life. And I was the first person at the van for the rest of the tour. No.
And you were fine until 1 o'clock in the afternoon.
Until 1 o'clock in the
Yeah, that's
afternoon.
right.
Yeah. But then you go to bed at 7 and then you
That's
get up at 4, and that's just the life of, a Shakespearean actor. Yes.
Be very
I
careful
loved it. It was great.
what you wish.
So, from that point on, I decided that I did not need school anymore
Right.
because why would I need that?
Right.
So I don't even know how I heard about it. I don't know who said anything about it. I think it was a friend of mine who had gone to PCPA, to the Pacific Conservatory for Performing
Yes.
Arts, and recommended that I audition. And I was like, yeah, I'll go to a conservatory. Like, I don't need school. I'll
Right.
go to
No, no. Right.
conservatory school and I shall be actor.
There you are.
And I went, I auditioned, I got in. Like not waitlist in, like
You
I
were
got in.
Yes.
And I didn't go because I didn't have the money. I didn't, I had emancipation from my parents,
Yeah.
but I had no money. And people were like, don't worry about it. Like people will support you there. People will feed you. It's a very supportive community and like all that
Mhm.
and I couldn't do it. I just couldn't do it. So I didn't go. I dropped out of SUU. I ended up working at Applebee's in Cedar City, Utah for a while. I worked for the Shakespeare Festival in the summertime doing concessions because I was never brave enough to actually audition for the company. Like these kinds of things. Like this is the story of my trajectory of my art is like just constantly shooting myself in the foot. You laugh, but it's real. It's real. Just constantly like self-doubt and real like value problems and like I just have even to this day terrible self-esteem. Like just constantly questioning all the things.
I know. When we work together, I have to keep going. No, Jaimelyn, you're great. No, it's fine. Don't worry about anything. You got it. You got this, girl. That's not true. You're extremely self-reliant human being.
Yes,
Whatever's turned out.
but it's in
But I
my
mean,
head.
you have evolved into being that.
Yes,
Of course.
over a very long
That
trajectory.
just doesn't really happen, right?
Yeah.
Until
And so I had I found myself in a very, very, very dark spot.
Mhm.
Like I had dropped out of school. I was working at Applebee's. It gets really cold and lonely because Cedar City goes through all 4 seasons.
Oh, yes,
And
it
so
does.
those
Yes.
winters are something else. It's really like Wisconsin weather, but beautiful mountains. And I was gonna go home for the holidays one year, and I was drunk, of course, and I called my brother at like, I don't know, 3 o'clock in the morning. And like his girlfriend answered the phone and was like, Jake, it's your sister. And I was just a broken person. And I just told him, I'm ready to die. Like I'm really just ready to go. And he's like, just chill out, like come home for holidays, we'll hang out, be great. And so I hung up and hung on that night. And then I went home a couple days later and met uh who would become the father of my only child that winter and started a whole different trajectory from there on.
Yes. I'll say.
Yeah. Yeah, completely just I gave up.
Gave up on theater.
I
Really.
really gave up. I really just was like, I'm not good enough. I'm not pretty enough.
Oh, you can name them all.
I'm
right.
not this enough.
Alphabetically or in order of
I'm not
appearance,
that
right?
enough.
Just
This, that.
who the hell do I think I am?
Yeah. Yeah, and so I moved back to Wisconsin and moved back to Oshkosh and got pregnant and had a baby and put the kibosh on.
But then you went to college.
I did.
And you graduated.
Well, I did. Well, I mean, that was a challenging time because my daughter was born with a genetic disorder. And so, I'm 24 years old and with a baby with a genetic disorder, and I'm a first time parent, and I don't know what's going on. So I stayed out of school for 2 years.
Yeah.
I stayed home with her
Right.
and tried to get my feet underneath me to be a mom and be the mom of a disabled person, and all of this. And it was really her dad that said, "Listen, you got to go back to school, or I'm going back to school." And so I was like, "Okay, I'm going back to school." So I went back to school for social work and political science.
I could have called that one.
So I went back to UW Oshkosh and went for social work and political science.
Future Secretary of HUD.
And I don't know how I ended up in the theater building. I don't know how I ended up in the theater building. I do not remember. But there was an audition sheet for Romeo and Juliet. I'm like, Shakespeare? It's my calling. Shakespeare. And auditioned for Romeo and Juliet and got
The nurse.
Lady Capulet.
Lady Capulet. Oh, much better. Yes.
Oh, then the nurse? Yes. And so, but when dress rehearsal came, they put me in a wig and an outfit, and they're like, "We have to change something because you look younger than Juliet." So they had to change stuff and put me in like a different thing and whatever. But that put me like right back on my mission. I dropped the social work, and I was like, I can hang on to the poli-sci thing. So
That's
then I
fine.
became a theater poli-sci double major,
Great.
and started following that path, and was cast basically and everything. I was big fish in small pond again. And like, they used to do these videos at the end of the year, and the big joke was something about how is Jamie in it?
Yeah, right.
What's Jamie playing in it? Like that type of thing.
Yeah.
And yeah, I was gonna be a mom and do the theater thing. And I thought that, like, my education at Oshkosh was fine.
Yes.
It gave me a lot of experience because I got cast in a lot of stuff.
Yeah, sure.
Also, my first interaction with Martin McDonough,
Mhm.
because we did Cripple of Inishmaan,
Yes.
and fell in love with that bastard right away. I was
Yeah.
like, this guy, right? And but then decided I needed to go to grad school. Like I really needed to.
You need more better teachers.
I
Teachers for the next step.
I
let's
needed
say it that way.
if I was going to be a professional actor,
Yeah.
I really needed
Some
more
stuff
training.
that you
Yeah.
that you didn't have.
So I spent a whole bunch of money and tried to audition for a whole bunch of schools. Not a single offer. So then I started to go and travel from Oshkosh to Milwaukee
Mhm.
and tried that audition circuit and got a couple of projects, and like worked for the chamber at the Young Playwrights
Uh-huh.
Festival,
Right.
and did a couple independent things, and just really got this sense. And then that was a whole year that passed. So I did auditions again, grad school auditions again, and spent a whole bunch of money again, and got 0 offers again. And that was at the point of, I submitted to the reps internship program,
Mhm.
and I was like, if I get rejected from the reps internship program, I really think I need to go to Chicago and start working in shows and
Do it. Do the thing.
do the thing. And it was Brent was the
Oh,
the
God. Yeah, right. Casting director.
casting
Sure.
director at the time. And I've told him that story
Yes.
that he was the reason why I moved to Chicago.
It sent you to Chicago.
He sent me to Chicago. Yeah. And so I went. I thought that there was an agreement with my daughter's dad
Mhm.
and I that I was going to do this thing
Yeah.
and that they were going to come after me at some point when he could get a job transfer.
Got it.
And instead, he ended the relationship.
Oh, yeah, boy.
So I was like, okay. Okay, well, okay, then I will, be actor. And I spent some time like looking for paths for Aurora to come and live with me.
Mhm.
And the more that I investigated disabled persons in Chicago, the more I didn't like what I was seeing.
Yeah, sure.
And so we left it at he would be primary caregiver and then she would come down on weekends and come visit me.
Mhm.
And that's what we did. And that's what we did with Aurora for that time period. And but I was in Chicago for a month and he ended the relationship, a couple weeks after I moved. And then 1 week later, I met some other
Bozo.
bozo.
Mhm.
And so that sent me on a whole other trajectory.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I was doing really great work in Chicago. I was working with some really great storefront companies like Eclipse Theater. They shut down a couple of years ago, like after pandemic, and uh Tuda, the Utopian Theater Asylum.
Yep.
Um and was having a really great time and with my new dude, and that relationship escalated really fast. So like I met Leszek, and we moved in together after 3 months, and then we're married after 6.
Yeah.
So like, and we're still married.
Yeah, I know. It's great. I mean, I think that's wonderful.
So that's one section of like one part of life. The other part of life is that I was working in really great, storefront things, and really, and I do say now, I really do believe I got my theater education in Chicago, in working 10 years in Chicago. Um
I mean, I think a person who wants to be in theater, wants to work in theater, you're gonna get your education.
yeah,
You're gonna get it.
yeah,
You've got, because you're not gonna you need it. You're not gonna stop till you have it. There's this. Okay, that's bullshit. That's something I can hang on to. Oh, I see. You know what I mean? And that progresses when you're still fairly young. But I don't think that simply because somebody isn't in school that they're not pursuing an education in theater.
yeah,
Yeah, that's
yeah. I think there's a whole bunch of great lessons to be learned by doing the thing.
oh my God, yes. It's really
And
it's really
particularly if you're lucky enough to work with, some of the great directors that I got a chance to work with,
Yeah.
and really learned so many valuable tools and new thought processes that I had not come into yet.
Right.
I really consider myself very lucky for the route I took.
Mhm.
I really consider myself very lucky for the people that I've had the opportunity to work with.
Yes, I tend to think that I mean, people talk about luck, and I often say, well, you make your own luck. In a lot of cases, that it wasn't accidental that you met such people
Yeah,
because you were seeking them,
yeah,
and usually people people who are being sought, if they have something to give you, will know that. And that's where you have a relationship. That's where you learn about exactly what's going on in the business. Because we're getting to the point now. Inventing a company.
Mhm.
I mean, I could no more do that than fly to the moon. And I am really curious, and this this is about rehearsal and recovery, because it was more or less in the same time when you got sober
Oh, yeah.
and
Well, so yeah. Well, go ahead.
decided to start a
To
company.
start a company. Yeah.
That phenomenon is what interests me, because that's
Is what
what's one of the
how
things
does
I
that
have
happen?
always felt most intriguing about you.
Yeah.
That's why I just am really curious as to how that
How that
operates. And
process happened.
I think it's germane to what we're doing.
Oh, would you totally. I will say for as great as Chicago was, it was also not great for my drinking.
I get it.
I love my husband. The Polish community is not great
No, that's the Polish community.
for drinking. And so Chicago was where I really started to really do the slow descent
So you're saying this is really a problem.
into I'm going to die with this
crap.
disease. Yeah. Um
And
I mean,
recognize it,
interesting.
just curious, you say disease. In hindsight, a disease? Did you think of it at the time as a disease? I'm just curious.
No. I think for my family and where I come from and the long line of persons,
Got it. Yeah.
I do think it's and the trauma and the generational trauma and all of that. I nature versus nurture, who
Yeah,
really
right.
knows? Both are not in my favor.
Yes.
And so, disease or not, if I were to start drinking again, then I could tell you if it were really a disease.
Not worth it.
It's not worth
Thank
it.
you.
Ultimately, it's
We'll
not worth it.
speculate on
It's not
this.
worth it. We're going to speculate. But interestingly enough, before I moved to Chicago, right before I moved to Chicago it wasn't in my senior year because I had that gap year before I moved to Chicago. Maybe it was my senior year when I went 3 weeks without drinking.
Yeah.
That was my first real serious attempt.
And probably your first real recognition of saying, this may be a little out of hand.
Well,
Or
21 was really like,
yeah, okay.
It has always been a problem. I have said I've never had a normal relationship with alcohol. Like I just never have. I've always been a binge drinker. It's always drinking to get drunk. It's never been I'm gonna have a beer
Right.
and go to sleep. No, I'm gonna have 8 beers and go to sleep. Right?
In the garage.
In the garage.
Right.
To boot. And so but I did try it, and then it was just one of those things of like, okay, well, I'll just drink on the weekends.
Yeah.
And then you just go right back into
crap.
it.
Right.
But there was something about living in Chicago and the culture that I was living in and the city that I was living
Theater
in.
is not the easiest place to
Theater is
get sober.
not, and the culture I married into is not,
right.
and my own desire to drink is not helpful.
Yeah.
And just that the whole circumference of everything
Got it. Yeah, sure.
just made it to the point where I was drinking every day. Every day. Go to work, come home. If I had rehearsal, I would go to rehearsal.
Yeah.
Then I
Good.
would drink.
Right.
But if I came home and, just I didn't have a shower, whatever, come home. First thing I did when I walked in the door,
Kaboom.
shot of vodka.
Yeah.
Because again, Aurora's not living with me. She's only visiting on weekends.
Got it.
And so I didn't have that responsibility around me to make happen. And even when she was with me, I was drinking too much
Yeah.
to really to feel good about that in hindsight,
Yes. But everything seemed adequate at the time. At the time, everything,
And
toddling along.
and there's real depression and anxiety that I had not properly faced. I didn't start therapy until super late in Chicago. Like I started going to acupuncturists and massage therapists before I started going to therapy. You know, I started doing the body therapies before I did the mental therapy.
Yeah.
But I remember going into my acupuncturist once and being like, can you treat fear? And she was like, absolutely.
Yeah, sure.
And she's like, you know where fear sit? And I said, no, I don't. And she said, in your liver and kidneys. And I was like, well, that's really interesting, considering that's
interesting.
where I, try to drink it
That's the
away.
part of my body that I pound the crap
Yeah,
out of.
yeah. Yeah,
Drinking
with this
is
alcohol.
awesome.
Yeah.
Huh.
I thought that was really interesting.
Yes.
And so it was just a cycle of doing the day job, doing the theater at night, drinking, doing the day job, doing theater at night, drinking, just, and I was having a really good time.
Yeah.
Until I wasn't, right? And the wasn't part of it was, I think it was 2016.
Okay.
2016 that my brother called me. My brother never called me, so I knew something was wrong. And he called me and told me that he had been sober for 6 months because he almost died from drinking.
Mhm.
He ended up his family had to do an intervention because he was turning jaundice
Yeah.
and his liver was shutting down, and had to get liquid pumped out of his stomach. You get an abscess on your whatever that's called. I can never remember
No,
what
I
it's
can't
called.
remember either.
It starts with an A, but you have to get it drained because your liver is not functioning. And he just told me his story of this intervention, and the way that I was drinking, I was like, it's only a matter of time.
Mhm. And you have the genetics.
And I have the
Same-
genetics,
same
and
as
I
yours.
have there were that was sort of my lightning bolt sign from the universe of
Yeah.
you need to change now or you're going to die. And later so that was in the summertime because I was rehearsing for a show, and then that September I was hit by a car and busted my elbow. Because we used to ride my bike a lot in Chicago because it helped anxiety. And was sideswiped by a car and fell on my elbow and busted my elbow. It's a nice scar. I don't think you can see it on the YouTube, but it's
There
right
you go.
here. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I
That's
see.
my-
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a good one. and I had to have several surgeries, and I had to, like, be sober for things,
Yeah.
and so this was the period that I really started really being in, like, full contemplation of, I think I need to quit
What do you got
drinking.
going? Yeah.
Like, and I did not talk to my husband about it. It was all, like, myself in my brain. I didn't talk to friends about it. I didn't talk to any about it. It was all in my own head that this is what I was going to do.
Eventually, it has to be,
Yeah,
you know?
and ultimately it has to be up to you anyway, right? And so w that was 2016 where I got hit, and then that springtime and into that summer, um, we always had one camping trip with some friends of mine
Mhm.
out in the driftless region.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. And I was drinking boxed wine because that was my new flavor of the month because I got tired of vodka or whatever. And it gave me heartburn for 3 weeks. And all I could think of was all that acid eating away at my esophagus.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I am going to end up on the floor, dead, choked on my own blood from an esophageal aneurysm if I do not quit drinking, if I do not do this. And so
That's an
it,
alarm. That's an alarm
it's
going off.
it's all these things.
Huge.
It's the busted elbow. It's and going through those surgeries and having to be sober. It's the brother calling and saying, like, you are on the same path that I am on. And it just, I was just in this whole, like, headspace of, like, I have to quit, I have to quit, I have to quit. And so a couple weeks after that trip, I just decided one day, I just woke up one day and was like, today is the day. We're going to not drink today.
Yep.
We're going to make it happen today. So we made it happen that day. And then the next day, I was like, we're going to try this again. We're going to make this happen today. And we made it happen that day.
Yep.
The hard thing in that time, I went through some really bad detox, like hallucinations, like shakes, like
Wow.
the whole thing. Like, I should have talked to my doctor. Talk to your doctor.
Talk to your doctor, please.
If you are somebody who drinks on the regular and drinks a lot on the regular, talk to your doctor.
Yeah, if you think you got any of this stuff, talk to your doctor.
Because I, for real, could have really had any number of things happen. Seizure,
Yep.
heart attack, like the things. I yogaed my way
Mhm.
out of the worst part of the whole detox
Yeah.
journey. I was doing yoga like twice a day for like an hour every time, and just, in my room, kind of, and I still did not tell my husband
Yeah.
what I was doing and why I was doing it. I didn't tell him until 3 weeks. I said, I haven't had a drink in 3 weeks,
Yeah.
and I think I'm done.
Yeah.
And he's like, you're done? Like, you're done? And I think
Yeah.
I'm done. And that was it. So that was, and I looked back on the days and all of it, and it was 7/7 of 17 for whatever reason.
There you go.
And it was around this same time period that husband and I had started having discussions about leaving Chicago.
Mhm.
That he's from small town in Poland. I'm from small town Wisconsin. Like,
Maybe the big city is not for you.
maybe the big city is just not my thing. I mean, I lost hair.
Yeah.
Like, just like real, like, body system,
Yeah.
I had TMJ. I just like the whole thing. Eventually in these processes of like 2016, 2017 and the quitting drinking and things and starting to go to a therapist and all these kinds of things, I was diagnosed with legit, PTSD, depression and anxiety, and started getting on medications for those concerns.
Yeah.
But in our talks of moving to Wisconsin, we were just talking about what I would do for
What would you do?
theater. Like
Right.
what am I it's hard to break into a new place. And for what it's worth, Milwaukee has a bit of a reputation as being, a little bit more challenging to break into maybe than other
Than other
places,
places. Certainly.
you
Yes.
know?
Yes.
And so we just had a lot of talks about like what I did in Chicago and helping.
But he was behind this. He was
It was his
he
idea.
was in your camp.
It was his idea. He was the one who was like, you've helped, my friend Kirk set up his company, my friend Luda set up her company, and he was like, you should do your own thing.
Yeah.
You should start your own company. You should do the things that you like to do.
I'm a big Leszek fan. I really think. I think he's really cool. I mean, look, she's thriving. Good for Leszek.
Yeah,
yes.
good for Leszek. Yeah. But yeah, he was the one who
works his ass off.
Works
too.
his butt off to make shit happen for sure.
Yep.
But I did say to him, I really did say to him, like, if I'm gonna start a theater company, you have to build my sets. Because if there's anything harder than like getting actors to do your shows, it's getting technicians to do your shows.
Right.
Yeah,
comparatively speaking,
particularly
easy, right?
set construction. Come on.
Had you met Sarah Harris by this time?
Oh, Sarah Harris is from UW Oshkosh.
Yeah,
Like
okay. So
we were friends at
I
Oshkosh.
remember you were
We did
Titan
shows
buddies.
together at Oshkosh, So when I decided, okay, I'm gonna start ruminating on this thought of starting a theater company up in Milwaukee.
Yeah.
Where we're gonna move, I guess. And how to make that all happen. And so I was just like really like staring up at the ceiling, sober.
Yeah.
Because I'm sober now.
Yeah.
Staring up at the ceiling and like thinking of things and like with the influence of Leszek, like because Leszek does construction, I was thinking construction, building and building things and
that's
construct
where it came from.
and you construct things and it's theater's constructive and like
So we'll
just
be
doing like these like this words sort of association kind of things.
Sure.
And I really just came up with, because I thought constructionists was even harder to say than constructivists.
You got a point.
And was like, okay, we're gonna run with it. And I came up with a logo and I started, building the website and all that crap. Like,
Yeah.
And then I started Googling like performance spaces and stuff, and met Matt Kemple. Like I drove up to check out the Underground Collaborative.
Yeah.
Thought it was a badass space. I was like, this is my space.
Yeah.
Basement of a mall.
It was a cool space.
Oh man, like that is Steppenwolf vibe. Like, that's that kind of thing. And so pick gruesome playground injuries. It's right right, I think up right there. And ran with it. And really took that first project. So I was driving back and forth from Chicago to Milwaukee.
You're still in Chicago.
Was still in Chicago because
before
we hadn't found anywhere to live yet.
Yeah, right.
Right?
Yeah.
So this was all like winging and prayer-ing it, kind of thing. And put put out ads on, the Facebooks and things. The new company is coming and started a company.
Which survived even COVID.
Did it
Quite remarkable.
with Liz. Women Laughing Alone Salad. You can go and check out that episode too. She was on a couple weeks ago.
Yes, right.
I just do this with my friends.
That's right.
That's it. That's all I need. That's all I need out of
We're
life.
happy to do it. Way happy to do it.
Yeah, and so
Because you're an inspiration. I mean, you already were before I got all this biographical information, but you should realize that, and I think that I'm by no means the only person who's associated with constructivists who thinks that, because that's to work with constructivists, it's a requirement that there be an inspiration. But I think you feel it, and I think that for the good of everybody's work. So that's coming out the other side of a thing,
But I would have never been able to do it if I had not quit drinking. There's so many things that I look at in my life that I would not be able to do any of it.
Yeah. Well, part of it is that you're less likely to end up discouraged, I think. Just think that there's something in the bloodstream that, I mean, I found myself being a more optimistic person, a better listener, uh, a person who can do a much better job of getting into the present and staying there. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And not because I do. What I'm missing tonight is my meditation meeting.
Oh, I'm sorry.
11-step, and that's okay because I'm doing good work.
You're doing another
doing good works here.
different kind of
Right,
work.
and
Yeah.
3 or 4 of those guys are your audience.
Oh, yay!
Not just guys, but Chris too. That the way being sober, at least the way being sober opens up, you don't, in the meditation that we do, guided meditation that we do, you are encouraged to realize that thoughts are going through your mind and feelings are going through your mind, and not to treat them as if they're hostile. Recognize what they are, and then they'll go on their way. Another one will come. Okay, then, but trying to concentrate on your breathing, trying to concentrate on absolutely the now of things. And I think people with substance abuse, addictive people, when thoughts occur, are much more prone to jump on the narrative, this imaginary narrative, which can often be just full of anxiety and disappointment. Do you know what I mean? And just sort of things ending badly. So that when you learn, no, just see the thought. You don't have to climb on, because that's not going on now. What's going on now is you're sitting here and breathing, and in our case, with the meeting I go to, with a number of people that you kind of know, and you are sharing this consciousness. Well, that's what theater is.
Yeah.
Theater is about sharing consciousness. The consciousness
Yeah.
of the actor, the consciousness of the audience. The two things meet in the middle. That's the phenomenon of live theater.
Yeah.
That's it happens in music, but you're playing an instrument. Now you're recognizing yourself in other human beings, and the sort of the electricity that happens there is the experience of theater, and it can only happen right now. So it's a sort of a, what do I call it? I mean, in a way, it's a caricature of real life, because we spend so much time in real life talking about the past and the future, and the past and the future. And God damn it, I wish I hadn't done that. And boy, I think this is going to work out. Instead of, let's just take one thing at a time, one heartbeat at a time, one thing to focus on at a time. And so I think that practicing theater gets helped by sobriety, by a commitment to sobriety in a way that other things don't help it. Does that make any sense?
Yeah. Yeah, and I'm just not saying anything because I agree with you.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if I have anything to add to that, but it's I don't know, and it's just too like just getting older
That's
and just
it's tougher to bounce back from everything.
it's really
when you're
tougher to
older.
bounce back from
Yeah.
things, and I've said this before on this podcast, and I'll continue to say it. And just I so appreciate getting up in the morning and feeling fine.
I know.
You know,
Waking up
my
and being
my
awake.
hips might be tight. You know, I'll do some yoga and we'll be okay.
Yeah.
But the clarity and the just feeling fine. Like I'm just fine.
Right.
That's the thing that I enjoy most about. I love mornings now. I used to fucking hate
No, me,
mornings.
I feel the same way.
I love that I get up at 5:15 in the morning.
I don't love them that much.
But I do that because I have day job now.
Yeah.
And I want that time in the morning to align myself with the day.
Mhm.
And I don't want to rush.
No.
I don't want to give myself that anxiety of oh God, I got to be there and I got to
Exactly,
do this and I got to do that and I got to. I want to go. Okay, I'm going to get up now. Sun is rising. I'm going to get up now.
Yeah.
And I want to get to my yoga when I get to my yoga. I'm going to make some motherfucking coffee first.
Yeah.
I'm going to drink some motherfucking coffee first. And then I'm going to get to my
Then
yoga.
I'm going to get to my yoga.
And I very much love that aspect to my day now.
Yep.
And I would not be able to do that if I were still drinking the way that I drank. And that's the thing too, is that drinking doesn't, you don't ease off it.
You have to stop.
You keep going harder and harder and harder and harder, right?
Yeah.
I mean, when you're an alcoholic,
Yeah.
right? You just keep going and keep going, and it's just more and more and more and more and more and more and more. And I would have ended up with significant medical problems,
You'd end up dead.
or I'd end up dead.
Yeah.
You
Which
know,
is a significant.
I mean, the thing is too, we didn't even touch on, the things like I had 2 underage drinkings in Manitowoc. Those could have been red flags.
Wow. Yeah.
I got a DUI in Utah after I did the tour. Like when I was in that, when that was part of the thing too of like feeling like I wanted to die was I got a DUI, and like now I'm a terrible person, and now I'm a loser more than I was a loser before. Now I'm like super uber loser, like. And having to go through that process, and had to go through like the alcohol classes and all the things and the alcohol assessment, and are you an alcoholic? Well, somebody should have told me yes at some point in time. Maybe somebody could have said, maybe you shouldn't drink so much.
Oh.
I mean, it's largely my own responsibility, right? There were lots of times over my entire, what is that? Is that 20 years of drinking? 20 years of drinking.
Yeah.
That I could have said stop.
Right.
But I was having fun. I was having not fun and being depressed. I was being anxious. I was being all the things, all the reasons that you drink for,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, that you drink for, and that end up being, well, that being destructivistic.
Destructivistic.
Yeah, you are destroying
Yeah.
all kinds of
Yeah.
parts of yourself.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And and it's all the most painful wounds of all are self-inflicted wounds,
our
and
self-inflicted
that's
wounds, right?
that's a big
Yeah.
one. Yeah.
And so I just I don't see myself ever drinking again. Like I just don't. I really just don't. Like I really just don't need it. I
Yeah.
just don't.
Yeah.
I don't want it. I don't want the burning sensation that I used to love so much.
Right.
I don't want the loopy sensation that I used to love so much.
And it's not that you're totally unloopy. I've seen you be loopy.
I can
That you can do, but the fact that you
especially
can do
after
it,
16-hour days, one can be loopy.
no,
Yeah.
but you're doing it with your own enzymes.
I'm
It's
doing it
not-
with my
you
own
don't have
enzymes
to-
instead of
you don't have
the
to believe it's-
alcohol enzymes.
Right.
Yeah.
That's
And so I feel really good about making the decision to move to Wisconsin,
Mhm.
to move back to my home state, which some people could see as giving up in a way, particularly if one has lived in Chicago for an entire decade,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. But I mean, I just reject that sort of judgment. I moved here in 1974. I'm still here.
And you're still here.
I like it.
And you like it.
It's been good. It's been nice to me. I've been nice to it.
I
Works.
too also like it. I have said I'm not moving anymore.
Right.
I'm gonna be crazy sober person and not moving anymore. And hopefully continue to make art and be sober and make art.
And I think it's a wonderfully honest thing, characteristic of you, that you're devoted to the dark side.
Yeah.
You're devoted to stuff on stage that doesn't necessarily end well.
Yeah. Love it.
Because you see the truth in it.
Yeah. And I think it's healthier for people to process their negative emotions through art
Yeah, I think so too.
than maybe running around and getting into fist fights at the state fair and stuff
Right.
like that.
Or, destroying automobiles in other people's lives.
Or that.
That sort of thing.
Yeah. Yeah. I just, being reflective for a moment. Like I see so many things in the news and I will comment on news
Oh,
articles
yes, you
and
will.
things like that
Yes,
and
you
be
will.
like, did anybody tell these people to get thee to a theater?
Right.
Like go watch some art. Go watch some dark art.
Yeah, go watch something and don't like it. But you've been there.
But you've been there,
experienced. Maybe the next one you'll
and
like that better. And you'll know the reason why, and et cetera, et cetera.
and
And then you become
breathing
a
with your
fan.
human beings
Exactly.
and laughing out
You're
loud.
all in the same room. You're in the same room. You're breathing the same air. It's immediate.
Yeah.
Go for that.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's only happening when it's happening,
Yeah.
which is
Every
great.
show
And
is
then-
different.
then you realize, oh, that's life is kind of like that too. And I think that makes it so better.
Yeah. I don't know. I think as long as we can keep getting people to come to the shows and keep donating and keep people interested in the dark art, I think we'll be okay.
Well, I mean,
yeah.
it's like you're not going anywhere. You know what
I
I mean?
am not.
No. So come on, people.
That's half the battle.
You may as well come along.
May as well jump on board.
Jaimelyn is not leaving, and we're gonna
Not
do
going anywhere anytime
this
soon.
or that play and this or that play.
I don't know. I just I think if first of all, anybody can reach out to me about any questions they have about anything at all. Like I'm an open book,
You
right?
certainly are. Yes.
I like I don't know if we really touched on like, all the things that would really add up to why I went the path that I went on. I hope we did. I hope I really
Yes.
talked about the through line of how I got to where I got to.
And I think, what you had to say about all that is, has echoes in a lot of people's situations, and that's very useful. I mean, just the fact of the name constructivists. It's a, it's an optimistic looking name. It's a name that, oh, there are people that put things together. Let's go put some things together. Let's try and avoid just tearing things apart, destroying things. Let's make stuff.
Yeah.
And that's great.
Yeah.
And that's what you do. And you have this cadre of people whom you worked with for so long,
Yeah, there's a lot of people who stick around
That is-
and have really invested a lot of themselves into this company.
not an
and
accident.
and it's not an accident.
That
and
shit
it's-
happens on purpose.
Yeah. And I'm truly grateful for people who have also found an intense connection to and desire for the dark arts.
Yes.
And and I think we found them.
Yes.
And big shout out to the constructivist team.
Yay.
I'm not going to name them because then I will forget somebody, and then I will be up shit creek without a paddle.
That's right. And you'll be driven.
So
to
we're not
drink.
going to do that. So you
No,
can
we're not
go
gonna do
to
that.
www.theconstructivist.org.
You can see the whole roster.
And you can see the whole list of people who are artists and associate artists and advisors and the whole thing.
who work too hard.
And the work
for
that
too
we're
little.
going to do this next season.
Yeah.
and the next season and the next season and the next season. At least that's the intention, right?
That's the intention.
Yeah.
Why not?
Yeah. And I'm going to do all of it sober
That's right.
because
It'll be better that way.
it'll be better that way.
Yep. And you'll have a better understanding of what you're doing that
Are
way.
you still not smoking?
Shh.
Oh, okay.
I sneak them.
Oh, okay. No, because I just thought, because I'm like, I'm not, I quit smoke. I only smoked for 10 years.
Yeah.
And I was like, are you still not smoking?
Yeah. Oh.
You're working on it.
Yeah, I'm working on it.
You're working on it. Okay. Okay. It's good to know.
That's got to be out of there
Okay.
because I'm.
Okay. Okay. I'll cut it.
Thank you.
No, I was just thinking about, just being, doing things sober and what people consider sober and
Yes.
things like that. And we've had lots of conversations over because on this podcast we have a full range of people and how what recovery looks like to them,
Right.
because I think that that's really constructive,
It is.
and I really appreciate taking a look at the full range of recovery and
Yes.
how recovery is
Everybody's
a journey.
movie is different.
Everybody's movie is different.
movie is
Yeah.
different, right? And as you know, it may not be helpful, but I point out to people, I'm an alcoholic. I'm not a teetotaler.
Yeah,
If you want to
Yeah.
have a Manhattan,
you have the
go for
Manhattan.
it.
Yeah.
I'll have some tonic water and key lime juice,
Yeah.
which is that's my pretend.
And I've said, and I'll say it again, there are some really good non-alcoholic
There are.
drinks out there now.
And the beers are getting better.
And the beers are getting better. Yeah. So if that's within your boundaries, like
Right,
if,
sure. And I understand if it's not.
Yeah. I've had some really great non-alcoholic wines.
I have yet to try non-alcoholic wines because
Okay.
I'm just
It's
not
the
sure it's going to
sparkling-
taste very good.
The sparkling ones are definitely better. Like the sparkling ones.
Oh, like Martinelli's white grape soda. That's really good stuff. Yeah. Go. It's usually on the bottom shelf at Woodman's.
I do like that stuff. There's a lot of sugar
No,
in it, but I
that
do
stuff is
like
good.
that.
You're right.
But
you're
no,
right.
but I mean like legit, like white zin kind of product.
Mhm.
There are some really great non-alcohol, and I can drink those just fine,
Yeah.
and I don't feel like I need to
You don't
drink in
get
the
triggered,
morning, and
right? Yeah.
I don't get triggered at all.
Yeah.
So I enjoy that every once in a while.
Right.
But mostly I drink I like cucumber things, like
Mhm.
cucumber water and stuff like that. Those
I
are
know
my
yes,
faves.
you get the various
I'm a big
concoctions that you get when we meet at Blue Melvin's.
at Blue Melvin's, yeah.
Yours.
Yeah. And
Some
I'm a
root
big LaCroix
vegetable.
drinker.
That's right.
LaCroix is
Good
my
stuff.
buddy.
Yeah.
And Bubbler's my buddy. Yeah,
Yeah.
so there's stuff out there that you can drink now that if you're in recovery, is good shit.
Yep.
Yeah. So
Because it's the feeling like it. To me, that's and even to the extent that I put put my mugs in the freezer before I have my tonic water and my
oh,
juice.
nice. It's better.
It's summer.
It's better. Yeah. We're gonna do some
Good.
questions.
Okay.
We're gonna do a recovery round. Someday I'll have like a really cool graphic that's like recovery round.
And now, ladies and
yeah.
gentlemen, recovery round.
Yeah.
What's one thing sobriety gave you that you didn't expect?
Time. I mean, at the beginning of the
Yes,
beginning
I
of the
gotcha.
thing, like those days are really long. Those when you're first getting sober, you're like, can this day be any longer? Now I don't have as much time, but I'm really appreciative of the way I can like schedule things and make things happen in my life. Yeah.
And ultimately, gift to self when you come right down to it.
Yeah,
which is good.
Totally.
What's one myth about recovery you want to bust?
One myth about recovery: that life is boring after you quit drinking.
All right.
Life is not boring at all.
No, it's not.
I mean, I do a lot of things. I do a lot of theater. I do my embroidery. Yes, I embroider.
Yes, she does.
Um,
She does
There's
good.
there's so much things in life. There's great television. Like there's so much great shit and you don't need. I can't imagine trying to do embroidery drunk.
No,
I can't imagine the shit that I would come up with.
And you know what? Now that you have said that, there's going to be like 3 YouTube things on drunk people doing.
They're gonna post.
They're going to
post it in the comments. Look at this person doing embroidery drunk.
Or
Yeah.
see, you actually can.
Yeah, you can.
Which reminds me, one of the things I want to do, it would be nasty, and I don't have the nerve to do it anyway. But the beginning of AA meetings, when they say, "Is anybody celebrating a sobriety birthday today?" Or up 9 months, 2 years, 26 years.
Yeah.
45 years.
Yeah.
I just want to stand. Once I want to stand up and go, 20 minutes.
No.
You,
You and your dark comedy.
see, that's that thing. But the fact that it's boring, it is not boring. It is less. Things are less boring. You can remember.
And you remember
You
things.
remember episodes of TV that
Yeah.
instead of going, oh, geez,
when did I watch that? Yeah.
Right. No. Now I need to know that Leroy is going to go over to Harold's house and
do the
something
thing.
bad's going to happen. Right. What is a project you're proud of that nobody saw?
A project that I'm proud of that nobody saw?
I'm going to pray for you so hard.
When I did, nobody is relative, right?
Yeah. Oh,
yeah.
Right.
So I did, what is it? I always Fugard.
Fugard.
I
guess. Yeah,
okay.
I think so.
Yeah. Is it Ethel or Etoll? Etoll Fugard.
I say Ethel. I have no idea.
Maybe one of these days I'll Google it.
Right.
Whatever. He wrote a play, Hello and Goodbye. It's about a brother and sister who their parents are dead and their mother had died or their father had died and their supposedly is like money in the house and they're poor in South Africa. First of all, I had to learn a South African
There
accent.
you go. Forget it.
Holy cats.
Wow, that's a tough one.
Holy cats.
Yeah.
And then but just had a really great experience. But there was like there were days when, we had to cancel shows because like one person signed up for tickets and stuff.
Yes.
And like I was really proud of that show. And that was the show that I was doing that my brother, I think that was the one that my brother
When he called?
when he called, yeah. Oh no. No.
No.
That was 3 Hotels. Different play.
Gotcha.
People saw that one.
They did.
Yeah.
What's the line from a play, song, or poem that gets you through?
Oh my God. I have no idea. I have no idea. That gets me through. Line, song, or poem? Well, my favorite quote is from what's his name? Oh, art is not a mirror to reality, but a hammer with which to shape it.
Don't know, but that's a good one.
It's not Brecht, is it? Is it Brecht? I think it's Brecht. I have it in my bio.
Oh, okay.
I just forget. I get Brecht and the other guy mixed up. The other B.
Beethoven.
Yep.
Yeah, that guy.
Yeah.
Okay. What do you want people to take away from your story?
That it is possible to recover. You can do it. You can quit the thing. You can do it. You can do it. You can move on with your life from this boulder that you have had
this self-imposed,
carrying on your back.
and not altogether self-imposed.
And
There
not
are,
altogether
it's
self-imposed.
in,
Like
it can be in
there's
genetic,
I had
no excuse,
nature
but it's just a thing.
and nurture. I had both sides of the thing. Like I think I took one of those tests once of like the chances of you developing like an addiction or something
Yeah.
like that. And it was off the charts just from the trauma and the genetics and going hand in hand.
Certainly.
But it is possible. It is possible. You can do it.
Just as
You
it is possible. I mean, I grew up in a family that everybody loved each other. Grandparents, it was a functional outfit,
Yeah.
a really functional outfit. And that didn't prevent me from being alcoholic.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I do know what you mean.
I'm just saying work kind of works both ways.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. But yeah,
But to me, what you say is true. I think it is the combination of those things and the phenomenon of that. In a way, you're being trained. You're being trained by alcoholic abuse. You're being trained, it's part of who you are. So, I mean, I'm talking about in the past.
yeah.
When that is going on, that's being part of who you are. It is not at all surprising that the affliction would really hit you hard. And it's all the more phenomenal to get out from under that. For me,
Yeah.
it wasn't so hard. When I really try, I said, "Oh yeah, I can do this." And I mean, I just don't feel like drinking at all.
Yeah.
And I'm just so grateful because I really got a pass in a way,
Yeah.
because, did all that, never had a DWI,
Yeah. Yeah.
did some stupid things, that, I should have been.
Yeah.
Bad things should have happened to me, but didn't.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And it's luck. It was as much luck and odd circumstances as anything else. And, there are two kinds of good luck. There's winning the lottery. That's positive good luck.
You gotta play the lottery first.
And then there's not getting a DUI when you really should have.
yeah.
That's sort of negative good luck. I mean, it's good luck, but it
Yeah.
doesn't get you anything. It just gets you back to zero. So, and
Yeah, but again, like I said, like I should have taken the hint. I
Who can-
should have taken the hint.
who can? And
Shoulda, coulda, woulda.
well, yeah, because the past,
Yeah.
I mean, I think as we say in AA, you have to acknowledge the past, but you don't have to live in it anymore. It's past.
Yeah.
You have to recognize it, but filling your life with regret is not a healthy thing.
Yeah.
It's one of those things you say, yep, that was happened. That sucked. And it's not happening now.
Yeah.
Next thing, please.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying to think if there was a line from so many.
Oh,
So many.
one of my what is it? What was the question?
Line from a
Play, song, or
poem.
poem that gets you through. Are you feckin' coming, you fecker? Rehearsal and Recovery is produced by me, Jaimelyn Gray, with support from Let's Go Windows and Doors, Get More for Less with Less, and music from Radd X. Please join us every Tuesday as we talk with a new artist about their recovery journey on Rehearsal and Recovery.